And
I love our Tuesdays.
Yeah,
it's vitamin T.
Yeah. It's time for vitamin T. And here's the thing. We ask her to be our guest, and then we make it difficult for her. But, Teresa, thank you. Good morning to you. Can't wait to get our vitamin T shot this morning.
Hey, guys. Sorry about that. But, it's international calling, and it's Italy, and everything goes well except when you have to get something done. That's the Italian way of doing it. But, so it's been crazy. We're back at our very peaceful little village in Umbria. And so I'm looking out over the Italian countryside. It's partly cloudy, about 70 degrees. And I slept, I think, for like 10 hours overnight. We got back into Umbria yesterday afternoon after a whirlwind week with all the coverage that we've been doing for the Pope. So just extremely exciting for me and Deacon Don. We were at the announcement, of course, on Thursday night after the white smoke came out, ran like crazy when we saw the white smoke. And we were there for the announcement for HABEMUS PAPAM, covering the conclave, and then being there for the Regina Coeli with EWTN on Sunday. It's just been amazing. It's just such a great time for evangelizing about the church and Jesus right now.
Well, tell us about, now we know what the reaction of the people in the United States is. There's a connection here, of course. How are the people in Italy responding to the election of Leo XIV?
Really well. I mean, they are just so excited for us. Even when we were along the Via della Conciliazione near St. Peter's on Thursday after the announcement, with 200,000 of our closest friends. It was crazy. When people were hearing me speak English, they were coming up to me and saying, "Congratulations, we're so happy for an American Pope." And then the great thing, though, is that they found out that he has, I think he's like a quarter Italian or something.
Yeah,
He does have some Italian in his background. So then he was like in like Clinton. That's like, okay, then we have kind of another Italian Pope. But no, so far it's been really great. It's been very positive. They're very excited about him. And I really think, I don't know how you feel, but ever since he came out and the first words out of his mouth, Tachi, peace be with you. Yeah. And every time I've watched even older interviews of him, like I ran a clip of him talking about the media. He was interviewed by Catholic News Service. And this is under Benedict XVI. He was talking about the media and evangelization. And he always just sounds so spirit-filled and calm. And I just get that sense from him. And to me, he seems extremely peaceful, but also very papal. He seems to be fitting into this role right away. I don't know how you guys feel, but that's the sense I'm getting.
Yeah, it seems like journalists already love him, and they're embracing him, and they reflect on those past encounters and so forth. And he spoke about journalism, and broadcast media right away. So I think there's a lot of folks that are really feeling that affinity.
Yes, I think so. I wonder if the media, though, are going to be surprised because he's extremely pro-life. He gave a lot of support and continued for many years to give support to Villanova's big pro-life group, and he's spoken out very strongly. Dr. Monica Miller put out an excellent email. We're going to have her on the show later this week from Citizens for a Pro-Life Society talking about his strong pro-life stance. Not that Pope Francis didn't come out, of course, against abortion. He did. But in many ways, this Pope has been on the record a lot more and doing some real strong things. So I wonder what the media are going to think of him, especially because he's also spoken out about gender ideology. So I think they love him now because he's very approachable and he gets that media are important. But they may kind of, who knows, change their mind a little bit when they realize that, guess what, the Pope's Catholic.
Yeah.
Teresa, what surprised you most about this whole experience with Pope Leo?
Well, I think that we have an American Pope, even though he spent most of his time, especially in recent years, outside of the U.S. I still can't, think about that, guy. Yeah. It was Father Bob. Father Bob's the Pope. That's the thing that surprised me the most is that, because I kept hearing, and I'm sure you did too, the interviews that I was doing on Catholic Connection leading up to Thursday, everybody was saying it was going to be someone from either Africa or someone from Europe, or even maybe Cardinal Perilin's name, the former Vatican Secretary of State, kept coming up. And this, Father Bob, Cardinal Bob was never on the radar. And to me, what I think is surprising, but it shouldn't be, that old saying that if you want to make God laugh, make plans. All the experts are coming out and saying, couldn't possibly be this one or that one. Then God says, nope, this is who we have. And so I think the surprising thing is that God is, it's not surprising, but in one sense it's like, this is God. God says, no, I'm going to choose the person, the man that I think is best for the times right now for my church. So it did surprise me at the end of the day that we do have an American Pope, though.
Well, Teresa, you're all over the world and obviously spending quite a bit of time in Italy. There is a big thing happening throughout the world regarding people clinging to faith in record numbers right now. And it just appears to me that the way that he speaks, the way that he presents himself, the Lord has given us the perfect person to kind of continue to lead that tidal wave of interest in faith.
Yeah, I think so too, Dave. And I think he's very likable. He's very gentle, and he just has he seems very approachable. And I think that's winning people over. And the fact that he spoke out in the Regina Coeli in his message to young people on Sunday, that was part of his message. I think that is making a real impact already. And so it's really interesting to see what's going to happen. And I hope we can talk about this on your show as we get closer to it. We haven't heard anything yet about the rescheduling for the canonization of Carlo Acutis. And can you imagine what that's going to do? Because now you have this new pope who's reaching out to young people, picking up where Francis left off, and then you're going to have this canonization of this young man. So with this new pope, so it's going to be very interesting, I think, to see the outreach to the young people. And I think everyone, if you look at the numbers of people that came into the church in Europe, especially in France and England, we're talking thousands and thousands of people. I interviewed Joseph Pierce a few weeks ago because obviously he's from England. And he said most of the people in England that came into the church this Easter Vigil were younger. They were in their 20s and 30s, so that even some older teens. So this is a prime time, and I really hope that people will just take some time themselves to make themselves available. Maybe invite someone to Mass if people ask. People are very curious about the whole process and about Catholicism. Whatever it is, whatever criticisms they have, I think they're seeing the beauty of the history. I did an interview with a evangelical brother in the Lord was at Christian radio last week down in Alabama, and he had me explain the papacy on the evangelical station. It was amazing. So I got to give all the scripture references and everything, and talking about the Pope. And I said, look, you would understand this from a pastoral perspective, because as brothers and sisters in the faith and as Christian brothers and sisters, you're part of the Protestant church, but you have your pastor, and he's your spiritual father on earth. I said, think of it, pull it out. We've got 1.4, pull out that camera to zoom out. We've got 1.4 plus billion Catholics around the world. This is our spiritual father. This is our shepherd, our pastor. So it's been an incredible opportunity. I think it's going to continue for everyone.
And we're going to pray for him because I know his schedule is busy. I know your schedule is busy as well. And I know when you are having a hard time keeping up with things, you go to TeresaTomeo.com to find out what's up next for you. That's exactly where we should go. TeresaTomeo.com. Find out everything going on with Teresa, all of the travels, all those wonderful things. Teresa, thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule to spend it with us each and every Tuesday so we can get our vitamin T.
Hey, I got some exciting things coming up for our show next week. I'm going to be in another location, so you have to tune in to find out.
Ooh, hey, we're going to be there. We're going to be here. We can't wait. Thanks, Teresa.
We'll be right back.